I woke up this morning feeling like an idiot. It was time once again for our group tasting. 13 wines, blind. No idea where they come from. All we know is who brought them. They're coming fast and furious, and you're just hoping that you can keep up. Always a lot of fun, always a little angst afterwards. Anyway, 10 wine nuts, 13 wines. What are we waiting for? First wine, Belly Puck 04. Lemon biscuits grew as the evening went on. A little bit later, it had smoothed out, had gotten longer, and was much more graceful. Lovely wine, 94 points. Second wine, salmon colored, fine strawberry and cream nose, apple and cherry in the mouth, lovely mineral mid palate, and a very sneaky length. Some lime in the finish, all that tutti fruitiness, and yet still elegant, grown up wine, no sharp edges. Love the complexity of this. Good wine with potential for development. Villemar Emotion, 2015. I gotta find that again. Third wine, yay, overtones. A soft lemon, some gun smoke, really lacks acidity. A lovely mineral linger in it, and a bitter peach skins and pits, some tobacco. Interesting wine, fair depth. If you guessed the 20 Adrenaline White, you would have guessed right. I didn't, but you would have. I gave it 93. Others liked it more. Fourth wine, so much spearmint. Lovely color, lemon, mineral, dry, and long as the day. A bit cool in a sense, and long, well made. The White Bones Adriana, 14. We had this at the previous tasting, the 17. I noted all that mint as well, although this 14 seemed to have a lot more. I don't know if it's down to the vintage differences or just aging. Very interesting. I wrote it as a kind of a Grand Cru ringer for Bâtard Ramonais if it wasn't as rustic in the mid palate. If it was a little bit more elegant and pulled together in that sense. A little bit more voluptuous. My guessing was way off that. It was terrible, but I gave it 97 points. I really like this stuff. Others gave this quite a high score as well. The fifth wine was very dark gold honey, apricot and peach. Jim Lucker sweat, very mineral, round and rich. Big wine, balance, power, boom. Longest of all the wines we've had up until then, some licorice, some peaches. Open Estate. I mean, it's great. It was surprising. I've had some experiences with the Albans in red. Those were out of balance. This was much, much better. I think I guessed the white shadow of the puck during the tasting. So wrong all the time. Wine number 6, much paler than the previous one. Very pretty, gentle, lemon, dusty tannins, biscuits. It smells wrong, but it tastes Bourgogne. Ha ha ha. Lovely mineral. Salt was a good note. Some people said salt, and as soon as they did, it just popped in. Oh, way up. This is very saline. Lovely length, weirdly exotic, but very good. Another Andremoli, the 22 Albarino. I much preferred it to their white cuvee. I think this was a much better wine, much cleaner and much more elegant. Seventh wine, we're into some reds. Pale, bright, rose-like color. Lovely blue fruit. Black, blue, purple fruit type of thing. A little too perfumed with some dark tones, and it was a bit soft. I think it smells and tastes like a flirty or a New World Pinot that's a bit nondescript. There was some black pepper or white pepper.
Well, which is it, young feller?
Turns out it was a Commando G. This was the Ray Moro, the 15. I think these are 200, 250 euros now. That's way too much money for wine of this stature. But the person who brought it purchased it on release, and they weren't that price then. So good on them, and really appreciate the insights that this could bring. I still love trying it. You know what I mean? What the hell? Right? What am I bitching about? I'm a lucky guy. Wine number 8. Red Twizzler, delicious, yeasty, elegant. Something a little bit cottony in here. I thought it had some smokiness, some pork. I wasn't sure. I did note it as being kind of stemmy, not gonna prove prescient. Old vines. And it was an 03 Bon Mar from Jadot. It wasn't the Domaine though. It was the Négociant bottling, which is pretty interesting. I've had the Domaine bottling before. Obviously, I didn't recognize it because I guessed it was a Côte Rôtie. I gave this a 96 points. I thought it was a great wine. It was a top scored wine. I loved around the table. And there wasn't one other hand that went up when asked, so who thinks that this is a Burgundy and who thinks this is a Côte Rôtie? I was the lone voice on Côte Rôtie. So it goes. I never said I was an expert. Wine number 9. Blackberry, some mint, black currant, some leather, a little bit of the barn, some tea, licorice for sure. Kind of a little old-fashioned, muddy, and a little slow in a sense. A little bit more rustic, I suppose. Not that bad, honestly. And this was the 97 Scipione. It was the wine that I brought. It's in Magnum. I like this a lot more than other people. I only gave it 92 points, which is tied for the lowest of the wines in the evening, and it certainly was in one sense that, for sure. And it was definitely not appreciated by anyone around the table. I think it falls in some people's wheelhouse and obviously doesn't in most others. I don't really blame them. I would never buy it again. I would usually never buy it in the first place, but I had very valid reasons. Go see the original note. Spoiler alert, it's got to do with the label. Wine number 10, nice green, is that a Cab Franc note? I thought so. A nice little malty, savory sort of feel to it, but so smooth and delicious and very foody. A little bit grapey even. I love the balance in this, a grapefruit balance. Felt very Merlot, Syrah, Cab Franc type of thing. Quite approachable, but young. Some candle wax, mostly green pepper though. Maybe less drive, but not a slutty wine at all. And this was a 2013 Foreman. A bit of cinnamon, a nice little presence. It has a nice style to it, but I ain't a huge fan. I don't think it made a huge impression on me. I liked it. I gave it 94. Stick with that. Wine number 11. Super young color, malt, blackcurrant, vanilla, just great, clear, precise mouth presence. Smoke? Maybe. Burnt brush. Lots of tannin though. This was so fucking long, but nice tannin. And still, so much green, pine, dry, sweet. Some said Northern Rhone. This was a Millennium 21. Very good. Of course, it's Syrah. There's definitely quality wine in here. If I'd purchased it, would I repurchase it? Maybe if I'd invested in understanding this producer long term. I think that there's something to be said for it. Personally, no. I've got too much on my plate. I gave it a 93. Others gave it more. 12th wine. Dusty tannins. Nice wine, but a little dirty on the back. Ink. Also some green Cab Franc notes. A little aggressive, but lovely deep wine with serious presence. I like it. This was an 07 Dunhull Mountain. I wrote excellent. I've had some from the 90s. I always thought that they were a step down, really, even though they were considered by others to be on equal footing with the big names. Yeah, I found them a little foursquare back then in the vintages that I got to try. I can't remember exactly what those were, but they were good vintages in the 90s. Pretty impressive. Would I buy it? Probably not, but would I ever turn down a glass? Absolutely not. And 96 points, well deserved. And the 13th and final wine, very grapey, port-like fruit, really weird, raisin, spicy, complex, but rather flabby and uninteresting structure. A little loosey-goosey, cotton candy. Nope, not for me, but it was a fun one. This was a Torbreck Descendant, 2012. And my final note on this, and it was the last wine of the evening, take it with a grain of salt. I hate this. LOL. 92 points. Yeah, these tastings, they're lesson in humility as much as they are in wine. If you're feeling a little bit overly confident, this is a great way to have a slice of humble pie, get back to basics, realize where you could be a little bit more engaged and a little bit more bright about the things you pick. And at the same time, not lose the passion to just blurt out what you think. Follow the path a little bit so that you kind of understand how you got there, why wines are the way they are, and rely on and learn from other people's experience. That's the beauty of a group tasting. That and being able to taste a lot of different fine wines that you may not purchase normally on your own. Two that really stuck out that are rebuys. For me, that would be the 15 Emotion. I would actually buy the 04 Belle Époque as well. That wine really grew over the evening. But the 15 Emotion came out of nowhere for me. I really thought that was a top wine. And then the White Bones. Second time I've had one with some age. This one was a little bit older. I really liked the way these things get with age. Obviously, there's a lot of potential with this terroir. Top-notch stuff for me. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you've tried any of the wines. Let me know if you have different notes. See you soon. And until then, stay thirsty.